Have you ever explained something to someone and halfway through realized they had absolutely no idea what you were talking about, even though in your head the explanation was painfully obvious?
Every single day. And the worst part is I can't stop thinking, how do you not see this? It feels so simple to me.
That reaction is exactly what psychologists call the curse of knowledge. It's this sneaky bias that shows up when you understand something so deeply that your brain forgets what it felt like not to know it.
So it's basically expert amnesia. Like I've learned so much that my brain erased my beginner memories.
That's honestly the perfect way to describe it. When you gain experience, your brain compresses everything into shortcuts. You stop seeing the steps individually and instead see the finished shape.
And then when someone asks for help, I accidentally skip half the process because I can't even remember the messy parts I struggled with.
Exactly. This bias has been tested in so many experiments. One of the most famous is the tapping experiment. Participants tapped out simple songs like Happy Birthday. They were sure listeners would guess them instantly.
I'm guessing that did not happen.
Not even close. Listeners only recognize the song about 2.5% of the time, because the tapper hears the melody in their mind, but the listener hears random tapping.
That's honestly such a beautifully painful example. Experts hear a song, beginners hear chaos.
And that exact disconnect is everywhere. School, work, family, friendships, relationships. Anytime you explain something, this curse is waiting to ruin the conversation.
It explains so much frustration. Like when someone gives instructions that make zero sense because they forgot what confused them.
Yes, experts often assume things are common sense because they've done it 1,000 times. But beginners need context. They need reasons, they need stepping stones.
And it hits hard in relationships too. When someone expects you to understand their mood or their meaning without saying anything.
Exactly. One partner thinks their message is obvious, but the other person doesn't have the same thoughts, experiences, or emotional background. They don't hear the melody, just the tapping.
This bias is literally a misunderstanding machine. It turns everyday conversations into puzzles.
And here's the wild part. The curse hides itself. You don't notice you're skipping steps. Your brain fills them in automatically. So you think you're being clear, even when you aren't.
So basically, if someone doesn't understand me, it's not that they're slow. It's because I'm not translating enough.
Exactly. And breaking the curse isn't about dumbing things down. It's about remembering what it felt like to be on the outside of knowledge, what it felt like to be new, unsure, and overwhelmed.
So how do we actually break it? Because clearly I'm cursed weekly.
Psychologists offer 3 main strategies, and when you combine them, communication instantly becomes smoother.
All right, let's hear the antidotes.
First, pretend you're explaining things to your past self, the version of you who didn't know anything yet. Think about the confusion you felt, the questions you had, the moment things finally clicked.
That actually grounds you. It forces you to slow down and relearn the learning process.
Second, use concrete examples, metaphors, and stories. Humans evolved to understand the world through visuals, parallels, and sensory experiences. That's why examples feel natural.
It's so true. One good example can explain what 10 paragraphs can't.
Third, ask people to repeat what they understood. Not to test them, but to refine your explanation. Their version shows you exactly which steps your brain jumped over.
So it's communication quality control.
Exactly. And something else helps too, giving people permission to ask questions. Most people stay silent because they feel embarrassed. If you create a safe space, they'll tell you exactly what they need.
That honestly changes how I view beginners. They're not clueless. They're just missing invisible steps.
And here's the psychological payoff. When you break the curse of knowledge, you become an incredible communicator. Someone people trust because you make them feel capable, not confused.
That's why great teachers feel magical. They translate the world for you.
Yes, And great leaders, too. Great mentors, great friends. They all share this ability to rewind their minds. They remember what it felt like to be new.
It's empathy combined with clarity. That's powerful.
And there's one more insight. The curse of knowledge also affects how we judge others. We think someone isn't trying or isn't focused, but really, they just weren't given the starting point.
That actually makes me rethink so many moments where I got frustrated.
The cure for the curse is humility. It's realizing that knowledge isn't just information, it's a timeline, and not everyone is on the same moment of that timeline as you.
Communicating clearly is basically an act of kindness.
Exactly. And once you break this curse, your explanations get smoother, your relationships get clearer, and your conversations get easier. And if you enjoyed this conversation, subscribe to the Curiosity Vault, where we uncover the hidden forces shaping your thoughts and behavior. Until next time, stay curious.